Alright, welcome back friends and followers. Gonna update the garden. I know it's been a little bit since I've done that. As you can see, things are growing fantastically here. This first garden bed, I don't know whether I got this talked about before, but this first garden bed right here is all of my cucumbers. So I tried to get all vining cucumbers, and you can see here that they are doing just a fantastic job coming up the vines here. I'm kind of curious to see just how high up they're going to get by the time this season's over. And if you look really closely here, I'm not really sure how well this is going to zoom in, but I got one cucumber on the vine right there. And if I move up just a little bit, you can see there I got another cucumber on the vine. They're itty bitty. I don't think they're even ready for pickling yet, but I'm thinking June 18th, I am not going to complain at all. And I know that I got another one here, but just like happens when it's actually time to harvest, there is no way I'm actually going to be able to see it now. So, but as you can see, I've got, lots of little climbers here, and I got tons of little blooms on the vines. So I think that we're going to be doing just fine. Now, if we step over here, this is my tomatoes, and my tomatoes actually, when I came home today, had decided that they were going to start flopping over. So I was going to tie them off, and I saw this idea on the internet somewhere where all somebody did was they just took some cloth strips and they tied off on the plants and just hung them up. So basically that's all there is to it right there. I guess, like, everybody that gardens, or at least this particular gardener, I kind of like to experiment with stuff and see if it's going to work. So I'm not sure if it's going to work necessarily, but if it does, then I guess you'll be able to see it, and if it doesn't, you'll get to see me, fail spectacularly. Also have a whole bunch of, blooms on here, and I know that I had, where is he at? There's this one little bitty one. Let's see if I can get it a good angle here to be able to see him. I can see him myself, but I don't know if I can see him in the camera or not. Let's look here and see if we can see that. I don't know if y'all can see that, but right there is one little old tomato, and I got over here on the other side, actually, I've got one that I'm even more proud of. Sorry for the camera shaking. I should have shot this one from this side to begin with. But let's see if we get over here and we kind of part the green sea. Hopefully. Let's see here. Can you guys see those? I'm gonna, right there. I got a whole 1, 2, 3, 4 of them right there, maybe even a couple of more. So I would say, again, as far as June goes, the tomatoes are coming along quite well, as long as something doesn't decide that it's going to come into my garden and mess everything up. I think the things should be doing really pretty darn well. So over here then we have the winter squash, which is starting to climb up the vines really well. I'm not sure how well this is going to do, but again, experimenting is half the fun, I think, when it comes to the garden. Look at just how well this summer squash is doing. I'm getting pretty close to where I'm almost tempted to be able to take a bite of summer squash. Maybe not quite there yet, but you can see that the summer squash on this one's doing really well. And over here, we've got a number of summer squash as well. So it's not going to be too darn long before those are ready to go into my stir fry of some kind. This one here is a little new, and this is my gourds that I planted. I don't know whether I talked about the gourds or not, but it's finally starting to take off, and it's going to start climbing. Hopefully it doesn't get overwhelmed by the summer squash there, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. And I couldn't help myself. I decided it was also time for a couple of Crenshaw melons. So I was going to grow some heirloom melons and see if I did any good in the same bed or not. I didn't do any research to see, since these are really close to the walnut tree, I didn't do any research to see how they do for companions or whether they're okay with the walnut trees or not. So if they're not, I guess I will find that out, unfortunately, the hard way. And the last bed, the one that seems to be kind of, a little bit behind right now, I put some protection over it. I think I was getting birds coming in here and deciding they were going to mess with my plants a little bit. So these, that one right there is a mixed pepper, as is this one. I know that's hard to see. And this one over here is one of my habaneros, as is this one. And then these two here, they seem to recover really well once I put the covering over it. This is an eggplant, and that one's an eggplant. And then my two regular green peppers or bell peppers are going to be here and here. So I don't know exactly why. I had trouble last year when it came to growing my green peppers, my bell peppers, and I seem to be having a little bit of trouble this year as well. I think maybe that's going to be one of those things that I have to learn how to do a little bit better. I guess we'll find out as it goes. So if you have any tips for me on great things to do when it comes to peppers, by all means let me know, because I would be more than happy to see what I can do to be able to make these things grow a little bit better. Always room for improvement. And one last thing here, I want to show off my new rain gauge that I got. This was my my Father's Day present from a couple of really cool boys, so thanks boys, I appreciate that a great deal. Had to get a little manual one from Wally World to be able to make sure that this one's doing what it's supposed to be doing, but I'm pretty sure that's going to make me pretty darn happy throughout the rest of the season. So alright, that's pretty much all I got. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.